Hello guys, yes, today is about risk management. This is FA Joe Mind. With me is actually Yakare and Kola Fodek. So it's gonna be a very insightful session, and life is all about risk taking. So today, more basically, we are going to hear from Yakare. Yes, Yakare, tell us something.
Thank you. Thank you, Efe Juma.
Yes.
Thank you, Kola Kodek.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here.
Feel welcome.
Thank you.
Just feel free and be audible. Talk to them. Tell them about risk management.
Yeah, you see.
Yes.
Tell us.
You see, risk is part of our life.
Mm-hmm.
It's an aspect that we really need to, it's something that every person, every organization really have to look into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of our life. It's day-to-day. Is a day-to-day aspect that each and every person, every organization, market, be it what, has to really look into it. So I'll start by...
In other words, you're saying it is a basic need for growth.
Yes.
If you want to grow, you have to incorporate risk
You have
into
to
it.
incorporate risk into it.
Uh-huh.
In short, risk is
Now-
a possibility of a negative thing to happen in whatever thing you do.
Right.
Like now, if we want now to travel to, let's say, CBD, to Nairobi, from where we are. You see now, we might say, okay, there's a possibility of something bad to happen along the way, right? We might maybe, like when now we are in that vehicle, we might meet some police officers. You know how our police officers behave, who can at least may want something from our so that's part of the risk. So with them,
That's for example, you will make police officers come after you. No,
you know where I'm coming from.
Yes,
You know where I'm
no,
coming
no,
from.
no, no. Let's not. Let's just try to use neutral.
It's calling spade a spade, yet a spade can come after you.
But you
Spade
see,
can come after
FM,
you.
it's all about where you come from. So you see, sometimes, most of the time, when you are now giving stories or when you are now teaching people or you are discussing something, it's based on the
You
experience.
see, you are bringing
Yes.
up a topic, and you see that particular topic also you can get deep into it, because if you tell me where you come from, then I can come and ask you some questions. Okay, so where you come from, do they just be a risk to you when you have something, when you're just okay, or they just interrupt your travel when there is something fishy? Do they just come to you even if you're clean?
Yes.
Even if you're clean?
You know, there's a day I boarded a matatu. We call them matatu.
Yes.
So everything was okay. He had license. He had that insurance cover. Everything was good. The car. In fact, he was just from service, so the vehicle was okay. Then all of a sudden, we were approaching a certain roundabout. Then I sat in front, and the driver told me, "Hey, my friend, I've not worked since morning, and now I've met these people. I don't know what I'm going to do, but the little I have, I'm going to give them." So you see, that one was part of the risk that is already incorporated into. Even though this is what I'm doing, but now
Okay. I want to defend them a little bit. I know even if corruption is everywhere, the whole world, you can say that there's one particular place that you can say that it is we can say that corruption is something that we are fighting as a world.
Yes.
And we can't tie it particular to particular institution or particular group and all that. It's something that is a challenge worldwide, and we are trying to fight it. And to where you come from, I can say that actually these people, they fear that the police officer can get a mistake in your in that particular machine that you're using.
Yes.
That what makes people to try to bribe them. Okay, it's not usually just because you are not sure.
Yes.
Maybe you are not sure that they can't find a problem. So if you are not sure, you will have to bribe them to save on time and all something. It's not something encourageable. That's, you find it happens at times, based on some evidences that we can see. Yeah. So let's get back to risk.
Okay. as I said earlier, risk is the possibility of something but negative thing to happen. Yes, so I was just doing an example with that.
Yes.
Or maybe we can move from here and here, from here to town.
Yes,
And maybe we meet
another good example you can use, which will be neutral and so many people will resonate with, is, for example, in the field of investments. Usually, when you invest, you have 3 scenarios. One, you can make extreme profits. The second one, you can make an average profit. And the third one, you can make extreme losses. So those are scenarios. So those deviations is what we call risk in this simplest term.
So the one that you get extreme losses, that's now the risk.
That's now the risk.
Now the aspect of negative something to happen to your investment.
Yes.
So that's the risk now.
How do you differentiate risk and vulnerability?
Risk and vulnerability. Okay, risk is as I said, risk is the possibility of something negative to happen, something negative to happen. But vulnerability is now that aspect of whereby you are exposed to it, like you are a victim of whatever that bad thing to happen to you.
So you are exposed to.
You are exposed.
I think we can say that there is an element in you
that attracts, that
increases the chances
of
okay.
you to get
For example, if we talk about cybersecurity, there is a certain point that can give opportunity to the hackers. Okay, there is a weakness somewhere. So that weakness is what is bringing vulnerability, is increasing the risk or reinforcing the vulnerability. So vulnerability, I think, is that when you are missing security features. Understand? When you're missing security features, I think I'm right there. When you're missing security features, then it means that you're vulnerable. Because we usually say that girl child are usually vulnerable to hostile economic condition. You understand? Because they are having some weaknesses. Okay,
that makes them attractive to that risk.
They make them less defensive to that particular risk.
Okay, so that's being said, we have various ways of managing this risk, because at the end of the day we know that we expect something bad, it's something negative that can happen. So there are only ways of dealing with this. We call it risk management.
Me, first of all, I don't have negative thoughts in my mind.
It's not all about having negative thoughts.
You see, if you use it as a sample that Yakari have just mentioned, that situation of a policeman. You see, you stated and reinforced it well enough that you are not sure whether your vehicle is fully okay. Because those people look for miscellaneous stuff. They can even look for the tires, like how good is your tires, how good is your belt, your seat belts, how good is your light, how good is those.
It's not just about having the lights.
It's not
just about having the seat belts. It's not just about having the license. So you don't know what they will. So sometimes it's beyond the negative and
so you
just have
thoughts.
To be ready for it.
Yes.
All right. In that perspective is okay. In that perspective is all right.
So that's where management comes in.
Now management comes in.
Okay.
Now when now it comes to this, the way now we manage it. Like now with this driver, the example that I gave earlier, this guy had some money, even though he had not worked before, but he had some money that he kept for such scenarios, for such circumstances.
So you seclude some funds for that particular risk exposure.
Yes. Now, so we normally have 3 ways of managing risk. So one, you can minimize
the risk. Okay.
So that's now when we talk about vulnerability. So if you've spotted there is a vulnerability in your business, you find a way of minimizing it, right? Now, for a good example, your house is next to a dumping site. In that dumping site, there are a lot of things that are being dumped there.
Yes.
Something, maybe a container that had some fuel. You see that particular fuel
remains
are still there. Then someone's maybe were just passing by. Then you drop their tobacco, cigarette with some smokes, with some fire. Because now for us to have fire, we have 3 elements. There must be oxygen, which is readily available. There must be heat, and also there must be fuel. And if for fuel, we have containers there. And now for heat, that person who was passing by, he has dropped some minimum heat there. And now oxygen is readily available. Now for you now to minimize the risk maybe of fire in that particular area, you need to make sure that those
dumps that you're dropping there
dropped there are removed. You see, for that one you've minimized, right? You've minimized the chances of that fire to occur, because now you've eliminated at least 2 elements of fire. You've eliminated the fuel, and also if anyone passes there with a cigarette, there's nowhere you're going to get that fuel, right? Yes, that's all about minimization. Then there's another one called avoidance. Avoidance of risk. Avoidance of risk is all about you avoid it totally. You know very well that this thing can cause damage or loss in our society, in our company, or in my house. A good example is there's a floor, a slippery floor, and in that slippery floor, there's a chances of you falling. Then if there's a chances of you falling,
I wanted you to use this. You see, there's
so
some.
If I ask in this scenario, me having the fear that I'll meet this policeman.
Yes.
So the best way is to not buy a car so that I avoid it.
No. Why are you going to avoid that? But it is your means of income.
See, I'm avoiding the risk.
No. By avoiding the risk, the only way you can do to avoid the risk, if you know that there are policemen there, you can use alternative.
I use another route.
What if they are all places, the all routes we have policemen?
Yeah. That one, then you see now when it comes now to risk management, you also look at which one suits you.
Okay.
Which one suits you. There are places where you can't use risk avoidance, and also there are places where you can't use risk minimization.
So like a scenario you're using in the dump site, so I don't build there.
You can choose not to build there. That one you avoided, or you can decide to.
I would like if you could have given us an example using exposure to diseases, like for example sexually transmitted diseases. That would be a very good
that's one.
that was a very good example.
Okay, now
okay.
there is,
nowadays it's not a risk.
It is.
It is.
Is it?
Do you have it? It's very low. Whether it's a risk or it's not a risk.
Oh my!
Like a stress of that stress of that every day I have to take medicine.
No, gonorrhea is being treated.
No, we know.
Syphilis is treated. It's an STI.
We are talking about the one that is now permanent.
The one that is permanent.
Yeah, the one which is permanent.
Okay.
The likes of let's just use HIV for example.
No, HIV. A good example now, HIV. So you can either avoid by abstaining, because I remember when I was in school we were being taught ABCD.
We abstain.
Abstain. B, what was B stand for what? I can't even remember B, but I think I remember A because that one was very common. Then with C. Condom. But when you use condom, you minimize. Then when you use A, that is abstain, you avoid. Right? Yes. Or you have one partner.
Okay.
One partner. So when it comes now to this,
so avoidance is the same as prevention.
Yeah, when it's
in the context of medical.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you see now with HIV, it's fixed. It's fixed. It's you can use either of the two. You either avoid or you minimize by use of. Or you can face it. Now, once you face it, you get infected.
That's already the risk is there. Once you get
you succumb to the risk.
Succumb to the risk now. You already have the risk. So what do? You will not take medication. And now maybe that one. When it comes to risk management aspect, maybe you can say you've transferred the risk. Now the medicine is helping you.
So under prevention, you can say stop marrying. Because by the way, that's why even I can use that one to explain the vulnerability. When you marry, that's a vulnerability.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see, you brought another external agent. So in as much as you can be careful, you yourself, it means that the other person who is also your spouse is a point of vulnerability, because if that person don't take good care of herself or himself, then they can
If you bring it in the context of IT, as you've said, you'd realize that in some organizations, if you're given an organization equipment, let's say, for example, the computers or the laptops, you'll find that their ports are not functioning. They're blocked, so that if you try to put any file, any USB drive or any whatever into it, one, there'll be an antivirus that scans immediately whatever you insert there, or you are not even able to transfer any file via that port. So in that case, we are blocking all the vulnerabilities that can arise in that scenario. It's very important to avoid.
So, Kolako, you are IT guy. You are tech guy, yeah?
That's the area of specialization.
Yeah, it's good. It's usually very important to always try to identify yourself with whatever. Tell people, because somebody might really need your services, but they don't know.
Yes.
So long as they are not seers, they cannot tell on their own that you are really into particular something, such a particular area or discipline. So,
Yakari.
Yeah.
So Yakari, you are into?
I'm in risk management.
So risk management. So that is discipline. The discipline is
underwriter.
So that is insurance. So you are insurance guy.
Yes. So I have not finished on ways how we can manage the risk.
Okay, you can proceed.
Now, so the last one is now risk transfer.
Risk transfer.
Yes. You know very well you can't avoid, you can't minimize, but it's going to happen. The probability is high. There's a probability.
Probability of 0 point? 0 point? From 0.6 and above, or 0?
0.6 and above, that one you are more exposed to, bro.
0.6 you're seriously exposed.
In fact, from 0.5 going forward, that one you are highly exposed.
So at that point, you just advise
so that is the one now you
transfer the risk.
Oh, right.
Yes. That's why in these companies, there's always a risk management department. So they also look at how people manage their things, how work is being done, those papers, are they placed in a good area? So we also have fire department. So if there's a fire, in case of fire, what do we do? So that's all part of risk. So that's why we have all those departments. In case anything negative happens, then how can we minimize?
Now that one you've really benefited the organizations that are watching us.
Yes.
Now let's talk to individuals who are now watching us in the context of whatever we were talking about, in the context of exposure, risk exposure to contracting serious diseases like HIV. So say something about that.
With HIV and
STIs generally.
STI generally with the way our world is. You see, now we need to talk about reality. What is there? Because now outside there things are terrible. Things are terrible. So what I can advise people, if it is a must that you have to do it, if it is a must you have to do it, at least have some protection.
Can you do that when you're in marriage?
In marriage? Yes.
Can you use protection all the time when you're in marriage?
You see, now it depends what you want to protect. Maybe you want to protect, your wife to get pregnant at that moment. So you are also protecting. It's because now if you know
and some people are saying raw fruit is sweeter than, so you forgo.
You just abstain like me.
Those are stories.
No, if you want to be safe,
I can't agree with you.
If you want to be safe, just abstain like.
Please help me understand this. He's saying that raw fruit is not sweet.
It is
saying that is story.
It is stories.
That's
why I've chosen not to eat any fruit.
You are lying.
That's a fallacy.
I can give evidence.
Kola, help me talk to you. You know, it's a fallacy. You know, outside here, those who already have the same
nice
thing. Those who have, you see.
I don't want to explain this. It's not a fallacy.
It's a fallacy.
Okay.
Let me give you. Let me just ask him one thing. When you're walking barefooted, and then you're walking with the when you
putting on a sandal,
putting on let's say a gumboot or a closed shoe. So, maybe let's say you are walking on a rough road. So will both of you have the same no, let me use a good example. If you are in marathon, you are in a race.
Okay.
There's somebody who is running barefooted and somebody who is running somebody who has put on a shoe. Who will have the how do you call them?
I don't know why I'm feeling you are using an example that don't align.
It's aligning. It's aligning actually.
Because now when it comes to marathon,
there is a friction.
No, when it comes to marathon, it also depends. You might be having a shoe that doesn't help you to move right quickly.
No, we are just
or you are specifying.
I'm talking in the element of friction. Your comfortability when you are running through the race. So the person who has worn a shoe and the person who is barefooted, who will feel the pain or will have the degree, will have the this source that usually advanced due to that friction.
To be safe, just avoid running.
No, we're not going into running because sometimes
you avoid totally.
Sometimes avoidance cannot work. Sometimes avoidance cannot work.
Maybe
that's why I said if you can't avoid, then minimize
or you transfer.
Or if you are trying to run away, I'm trying to define the point, but you guys are trying to run away.
You see, like this case,
I'm asking you between somebody who is running barefooted and somebody who is running.
Okay, whoever is running barefooted will have more injuries.
Will have more injury because of
the friction or maybe the okay, all that can
so
arise.
Bring that one in there in that context.
If I bring it this side, and I bring it that side, now I transfer the risk.
No. When you come here, when this other side, when you run barefooted, you will the friction will be higher compared when you.
So in that case, when you are
so that thing usually reduces friction, and the excitement is all about friction. If you don't know this thing,
I don't know. I'm not experienced. I don't know these things now.
Yeah, so
let's evade.
He's spoiling me.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to be realistic. Yes.
Now, we are not talking about what is good or what is bad. We are talking about how do we avoid
that risk.
Even when you come back, even to my area now, the investment on finance, we say that the higher the risk, the higher the return. The return, and when you bring the return, this other side, what is the return?
The enjoyment.
The enjoyment. They are the enjoyment. They are the risk. You understand? So it's the same. That rule, it's still obeying that natural law. Yes. So that's how it is.
What I can advise you, just stop running.
Okay.
You cannot stop running actually.
Or I transfer the risk. If I'm married,
how can you transfer the risk?
If I give
that's how you can transfer the risk.
That's you can transfer, but what I can say, if you can't prevent, like now you can't avoid, and also you can't prevent, like now you want to go wrong, then make sure that at least you have one partner, that now at least the person that you know is status, then with that one you are safe.
And then
there's no safety. Say that you've reduced the risk.
Yeah, you've reduced
because
the
there
risk.
There are people who are getting into a relationship when they are safe, when they are clean. Then later on, somebody. That's why I say that when you are two, then the spouse is a vulnerability. Is a point of vulnerability.
Yes.
Because however much you will be careful, if the other person is not careful, then you say that all of you. There's this proverb that's saying the weakest. A chain is as strong as the weakest link in that particular chain. Yes. It's the same thing. So when you are two, then you are joined. So any time that the person that you are joined with is
weak in a
way, then you are also weak. You can't say that you are strong.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why even when you are creating a circle, you must ensure that your circle. All the members in particular circle, they must be empowered equally.
Yes.
Because if any of those members is not empowered, then you are as weak as that person. You understand?
Yes.
Right. Back to you.
Okay. Well, it seems you have experience in this field.
This guy, on that side.
This guy, Juma seems he has a lot of experience.
Yeah, I have. I can't deny.
I think I need to look for you behind the scenes.
Yeah, I can't deny that. I have information.
You see, there's having the information and using the information to manage risk, as he's saying. So like me, I have the information.
Yes.
And the way I've decided to use this information,
so tell us, how are you using that information?
is to avoid.
How are you avoiding?
I'm not involved
because I have the records. So if you try to lie, if you try to lie, I'm with you.
I surrender. If you have to bring evidence.
All right, so it's all right.
Here particularly we are talking about risk management of properties.
No, let us not limit it. We said radical leadership. Radical leadership, it means we are championing the holistic living. Okay. It means that you have to be holistic in all elements.
If it is
risk, family, be it relationship, friendship, be it finances. What else?
We've talked about friendship, we've talked about finances, we've talked about family, and mostly faith.
We have faith and spirituality and fitness. Yeah. So that makes those.
If you use an example even of fitness,
yes,
you're going to the gym,
yes,
and then there you're lifting some weight without even understanding.
Yes.
By a few days you break your arm, then you start complaining. You see, you are doing the right thing,
yes,
but you didn't understand how to manage the risks that can occur as the time you are doing this particular activity.
And when that happens, then it's going to touch on finances. So that's why you need to be holistic in manner.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I was trying to blend so that we don't just be in the corporate world.
Okay.
So we talked even to those people who are not in the corporate, but they might
implement it in their lives.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so the last way of managing risk is risk transfer. I think that's what the last point.
Yes, risk transfer.
Risk transfer comes in this way. There's this company called them insurance companies. So you know very well that this risk, there's a probability of something but to happen.
I can barely hear you.
I'm saying it is a probability of something bad to happen. Fire might occur. There's might risk of flooding.
You may fail to take your child to school due to lack of fee.
Yes. Yeah, you can lose loved ones. You see, maybe you are planning for wedding. You know nowadays the way wedding is.
You can lose your phone as you're walking along the streets.
Yes, your phone can get lost. Your house can.
Somebody can snatch your wife.
Yeah, your wife.
That's a very big risk
also. You see now.
You see, a family, when somebody takes away your wife is like part of you.
Yes.
When somebody take away part of you, that's a big risk. That is even more important than even losing 1 million property. A property worth 1 million. You understand? That's a very big risk, so you have to include that one when you talk about risk.
No, but I also want to get how you are transferring it.
But I don't think it's what you can transfer.
You will. You must find a way so that we need not to limit ourselves.
But with that one, you need to get information on how can I maintain. How can this woman not leave me?
Or you are
by the time someone is watching one from you, you are a woman. It means you are the problem.
Some women are problems. We can't say that. Some women are just
how am I
problems.
If somebody snatches me, my wife,
there's something she's not getting in that house.
Maybe she needs.
So do you think you can provide everything for a lady to feel comfortable that you are providing everything?
Not that you need to provide everything. You see, there are things, fundamental things.
Yes.
Fundamental. We call them fundamental.
It's all right. Proceed. They are fundamental things.
In that sector, I'm not exposed.
But okay, today we're not talking about that one. That one will be our...
I like that topic. So you are saying fundamental things.
But that one, okay.
Let's just summarize. This way. Now, there's no any particular lady. You can provide everything and satisfy that lady. So when a lady stays with you, it's a choice. You understand? And what we look at is your company.
No, I don't want you to make it one-sided.
I don't want to. I'm going to.
When a man is also living with you,
yes,
it's also.
That's why I'm saying
choice.
It's a mutual thing.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So
you can make them feel entitled that.
They should not. So anytime you are in a relationship, you should know what you are contributing to that relationship. And you should also know what the lady or your spouse is contributing to that relationship. So you focus on that. Then nobody will take away.
But we've discussed that in-depthly in our previous episodes.
Yes.
So it's something that
it's a subject that we have really tried to enlighten them. Okay. More especially when you focus on the 5 elements of holistic living. That we say faith, family, finances, fitness, and friendship. So you ensure that you are on the positive side in both elements. Yes. Yes, that one you will be well. I'm example. Yes. I know some people will want to really try to dig and know if I've been having problems with. Anyway, some are minor.
Yes. Anyway, let's proceed now.
So you are transferring the risk.
You are transferring the risk.
Now you are bringing the insurance guys into the play.
So insurance, when it comes down to the insurance, you look for good insurance companies. You look for good.
How will I know that the company is good?
Okay, there are many ways of knowing if the company is good.
Give us the elements that, or the checks that if we use can help us understand whether this company is a good one or it's not a good one.
Okay, with experience, one way in which I have
because we've seen some insurance companies failing, collapsing. Even banks collapse.
Yes. Best way
they do.
Best way to know which insurance company is doing better or good is doing your market research. You know, the main reason, the main purpose of insurance is to pay claim. A claim is a financial request, formal request from the insured. The insured now is someone who has been insured by the insurance company. Who is the beneficiary now of the policy. So he makes a formal request to the insurance company in case of any damage or loss that he has incurred. So in case of such, he makes a claim. So the best way of
claim is just you are claiming for compensation. In a simple word.
Just from the word claim.
Yes. Because you have that authority being that you've been contributing the premiums.
The reason straight is even called a claim is somebody have to come and justify what you are claiming.
Yes.
Right? I think that's why it's even called a claim.
Yes.
Because a claim is something that we have not justified.
Yeah, we have to come and do some research, analysis, investigation, and see whether it can progress from claim to a valid transaction.
Yes.
Okay.
So you do a market research, see which company doesn't pay, because you know if we call it customer service, a bad name, the bad name is not very fast. But something that is good is not. So if there's a certain company that doesn't pay, you will just know.
But I think
that one is the one way, but it's an informal way. Yeah, it's not a formal way. It's an informal way. You just go.
I have a question for you. Do you think there's even one insurance company that is just accepted by all the customers that they have ever served within the period? Do you think there's any one of them that is all the customers that they have ever served are happy about them?
Not really, because you see in the policy when now you have taken that contract with the insurance, because it's a promise that insurance is giving you a promise that in case of any loss or damage, we will stand with you.
Yes.
So in that policy, there's normally what we call is normally being guided with 6 principles. So these 6 principles we have the insurable interest.
Yes.
So by the time you're insuring your item, you need to have an insurable interest on that item.
Yes.
So for example, this house. So you need to have insurable interest in it. So insurable interest is a financial interest.
You stand to suffer financial loss. In case of the risk occurs.
Yes. So the financial, that's the one main principle when it comes to insurance contract. There's what we call proximate cause. So by the time now you are claiming to the insurance company, the insurance company will send the investigators and loss adjusters to validate your claim to see whether whatever has caused the damage is it in the policy.
Yes, it's part of what
you've insured. So what normally brings problems, because you need see there's always intermediaries between insurance companies and the insured.
The brokers.
So we call them brokers or agents. So some of these agents normally don't understand well these policies. So they misadvise their client.
Oh, they don't.
Because you see, by the end of the day, they also want to get their commission from the insurance.
But the brokers are really bragging. Brokers outside there.
Yeah, I know.
Get information. So that they don't mislead your clients.
Yes. So at the end of the day, let's say now I have insurance. I've taken insurance for this house, maybe for fire. And there's some, so that fire policy, the number of perils. So perils is that what has caused damage. So fire can be fire, flood, or any other thing, impact. Or maybe I've insured my TV against maybe impact damage. So that impact, maybe I've excluded impact damage by a family member. And now my kid has broken the TV. So by the time I'm claiming, I was not aware that the damage by a family member is an exclusion of the policy, because now I was not aware of what is in the policy.
So when I come to claim,
yes,
then you do your analysis, you realize that it was caused by damage with the family member. And which is not what I insured.
So with them, what they are looking at, my TV got damaged.
That's what they want.
They don't look at what caused the damage.
Right? Yeah, but that is very critical for insurance people to, or insure. People are looking for the insurance companies to understand the cause.
More so when you are dealing with general insurance.
Yes.
Yeah, more so when you're dealing with general insurance, because with health, it is straight. It is straight. With health, it's a bit straight.
It's a bit straight.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't have complications.
Yes.
To contract and policy, wordings and,
because there, if it is inpatient, it is inpatient. Once before you deplete your allocation for that particular year, you are still well. When you are sick, you can just get covered. All right.
So that's why I was in second principle, proximate cause.
So in respect of time, we want to reserve this conversation for the next. The next.
We should have
the next. We'll have another session
where we can discuss this in depth.
In depth.
Those who have properties, how they can handle that.
Yes, we'll see how to reduce. We know we are reducing the risk. The risk of you not being compensated, though yet you've been paying premiums.
Yes.
It is one of the things that make people. It is one of the things that make people angry when you've been paying the premiums and then the insurance company can't reimburse you or what?
Yes, I have experience. I have experience.
Yeah,
there is a day I was putting on a t-shirt for a certain insurance company. I was almost killed on the street.
especially when it comes to motor, these people with the cars,
automobiles,
yes, public service vehicles. You see, they have very bad experience. They have very bad experience with the insurance, most of them, because there's what we call excess in insurance.
You know what? Hold it there. Right, guys?
Yes.
Let's meet in our next episode where we discuss in-depthly on how you can utilize or how you can transfer the risk, so that you don't succumb into this stuff that you're paying premiums and you don't get paid for what you've been paying for.
Yes. So yes, you can just summarize as you. Yes. Summarize.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay, when I start talking about risk management, I might talk till next year.
Yes.
So I think we'll also organize
Yes, help me there. You just help me there as he summarizes. Yes, as he summarizes.
Oh my.
I think we also need to organize another day so that I go and come and teach people on how they can benefit fully from their insurance.
Yes.